Welcome to Wayzata High School as CCX Sports presents Lake Conference Girls Lacrosse, the second meeting of the season here between the Hopkins Royals and the Wayzata Trojans. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken, and Dan couldn't get much closer the first time around, 8-7 in overtime for the Royals, so we look for another pretty good one here tonight.
Well, it's an important game, especially for section seeding and stuff like that. And in the Lake Conference, I believe both these teams are tied to the same record. And this is kind of a big match for both these teams to see who's going to end up in third place in the Lake Conference. So
we are underway. Wayzata's in white and Hopkins in black as the Trojans control it to start things out. Elise Johnson, the freshman, possessing and drops the pass back. Ellie Ronning, one of the captains, controlling here for the Trojans. She'll slip it over to Alyssa Story. Pass deflected, but still reached its intended target there. Ellie Olmanson. Now the Trojans getting a good first possession here. Let's see if it can result in a good scoring chance for them. Into traffic. Here's the quick shot. Goes wide from Johnson. Goalie for the Royals, by the way, is Lucy Swift, number 11. Been battling an ankle injury, but gets the call here tonight.
Boy, good patience, good ball movement by the Wayzata Trojans. And twice they got her in the guts. The second time resulted in a shot. Didn't quite get the net, but good movement. They're moving the ball really well, Jay.
Their coaching staff saying they've learned a lot as the season's gone on. Here's a shot that goes just wide from Alyssa Story. Obviously just a couple of wins this year, but they feel like they're quite a bit better team now even than when the season started.
Well, they're coming in on a 2-game winning streak here. The last 2 games they've won, and they beat Edina, and there's another team they beat, I'm sorry, but they put 2 together here, and it's the first time they've done that all season, so this is the right time.
Story from the free position here for the Trojans, and that shot deflected. They get possession back, though. Johnson able to scoop it up here. Wayzata's had the ball from the get-go here early in this game. Hopkins able to sag back nicely and clog the middle. They get a pass in close again, and Swift able to make a save. You almost wonder if Wayzata isn't a little too close on that opportunity there, as Ronning really didn't have much of an option, but they get a turnover forced and get the ball right back. Cutting around to pick and scoring is Emily Wisniewski, and Wayzata is on the board.
Well, a good move. Didn't worry that time about passing in the middle. Just a good move. Look at this. Just quick dodge. She got an opening, and she took it, and she hit the net. Got in there for a 1-0 lead. Good shot. High-low. Sophomore forward.
So Wisniewski puts Wayzata on the board, 2:19 into the contest, and it all started with controlling it from the get-go there off the face-off.
Well, the Royals have given up an average of 13 goals a game, and it's been a tough year defensively for them. They've done pretty good as far as scoring, but pretty much 2 people, Skadron and Gallinson, for them, and now we're going to get an opportunity to see them on offense.
Sadie Skadron, we had the foul called there. So Skadron from the free position. Caroline Ronning in net for Wayzata. Skadron turning, trying to go up high with it, missed the net. It'll be Hopkins' possession.
Well, his first chance Hopkins has had on the offensive side. We'll see how they can move the ball around here. See where their cutters come around. Number 6 and number 7 are the 2 we probably should watch. They've been the leading scorers.
Here is Skadron possessing right now. Number 6 for the Royals, trying to get a little step and turn the corner. One was denied, and she will get it back. Tried to drop that pass back. It went a little over the head of Kylie Hanley, and now we have a whistle. Hanley controlling it here. A very good hockey player, as is Wisniewski, who just scored for Wayzata.
And we had a high stick check there. That's why that free position. That's why the whistle and the free position. And the sticks have got to stay under control. Can't be close to the head within 9 inches, and also cannot have a stick going toward a body.
Here's Samantha Gallinson, and she buries it, bounces it home for the Royals, and they tie it up here. That one coming 4 minutes into the contest as Gallinson from the free position then goes low with the shot, and Ronning doing her best but could not block it from that close range.
Gallinson with her 25th goal of the season. She is their leading scorer. Good spread of 25 goals, 12 assists for 37 points.
Not a whole lot of seniors on this Royals team, but 2 of them are those 2 leading scorers that Dan talked about, Gallinson and Skadron.
Now they've actually got 9th and 10th graders on the team. The future looks bright for them, and you know, again, they can set an attitude now by how they finish the season, Jay, with these last 2 games, and then them moving into sections.
Teams are going to be in the same section next year, but as of this year, still not.
Yep.
Hopkins in with Blake and Breck, probably the favorites, and Benilde in there as well. And for Wayzata, it's a little bit different thing, and they've got a little bit of a different mix of opponents in their Section 8. Jane Wiesner, or excuse me, make that story controlling now for the Trojans. Drops it off to Wisniewski. Their coach, Krista Crandall, said they played a little too individual the first time they played Hopkins, so that was definitely a focus for them tonight, is use your teammates better.
Well, they certainly started out that way. Their offensive flow the first couple times, Jay, when they scored that goal was really well done as far as ball movement and creating openings for each other. So done a good job there.
Hanley circling around, defended there by Olivia Buin. Well, and Coach Crandall, too, talked about, she's more, obviously, especially early in the season, but even throughout the regular season, she's more interested in, making sure they're developing their skills individually and as a team more so than just the win-loss record. There's a nice stop there as really robbed her there. Ronning able to make a big save on Skadron.
Yeah, Skadron got in tight, their leading goal scorer. And she got that basket up right in the grill and did a nice job.
Story on the move here for Wayzata. Spins away from the defender.
They're going to go to a free position. Stick got up into the, you can see where the ref put his hand up close to his face, got into that halo 9-inch area close by, and we'll have a free position here now.
Junior Alyssa Story with it here for the Trojans. Story goes to the net and puts it away. And Hopkins kind of saying, wasn't that a little bit of a false start, as Story looked like she started a...
Whoop. Little hesitation there. That would have been illegal procedure on an offensive line, that's for sure. Might have got some people to hesitate. But she got it in there enough, and they called it legal, and Wayzata goes back up by a goal 2-1. And these face-offs, Jay, are so important. I mean, it can change a game on you. If one team can start getting on a run, they can start building a lead here. And so far, I think it's been pretty even. I think both teams have each won their fair share.
Yeah, the Hopkins coaches, that was one of the things they mentioned right away when I said, what's the key for you tonight? And they said draws were definitely one of the things that they need to do better.
Okay. Got another stick up into the area again. The stick, when you check with it, has got to go away or down from the body. It can't come toward the body, and that's what happened there, thus the whistle.
Wisniewski looking for a cutter coming through. Now flicks that pass out front, knocked away. Battle for that ground ball there, and they still, now the Trojans do come up with it. And the quick shot, though, goes wide. And it will be Hopkins' possession. as Olmanson unable to put that one away for Wayzata. And that pass didn't connect for Hanley. They've had that happen a couple of times now where they've been able to get possession, but then a bad clear costs them. Wisniewski flips the pass out front. Boy, they're not conceding any of these passes in tight. It's nice to see Hopkins really scrapping after everything.
It's a good battle. But turnovers here, Jay, right in this area, it can kill you. You've got to be sharp on it, and you want to be aggressive, as far as your defense here. And this is a good play by the goalie here. She's taking her time. She's looking for an opening. That, on the other hand, was not a good play. Kind of threw it into the open air.
Trojans get it after the turnover. Mandy Rezebek now getting that pass ahead. Kimball Utsi with it, number 16. Utsi able to connect with Johnson. Didn't like the traffic, so spun away and back out. Story, who scored that last goal for the Trojans. Trying to get it to Wisniewski. It was deflected, but she'll get it anyway. Wisniewski flipping the pass out front. Story trying to turn and get a shot, but couldn't. And then that pass did not connect, and it will be Hopkins' possession.
Well, see if Hopkins can get a good clear. I like the way Wayzata's moving the ball. They might be moving it a little bit too much. They might have some dodge opportunities that they might have taken advantage of, like Wisniewski's first goal.
Wayzata being very aggressive, pressuring the outlet here too. And it's given Hopkins some trouble. They're not just conceding a pass or two upfield.
Well, it's going to force Hopkins to get somebody open. They've got to be moving. And be open for a pass. Again, we got a lifting motion on the stick by the Hopkins player, so we get a free position in the field where they send the players behind, and where's that person get moving?
Trojans quickly move it upfield. Nice pass into the open space there, and a good opportunity to go toward the net, but Olmanson bothered as she attempted to line it up to shoot it there. Will stay Trojans' possession.
Well, it looks like she had an opening, but the sticks came in real close and kind of shut her down. They caused her to hesitate, but here we go.
Little pick there, and the frees her up for the goal. Turning the corner was Annika Swanson, and she buries it. The Trojans now lead 3-1.
Boy, very nice play here. Look at the pick coming around, and goalie was just all by herself, dead to rights, and she picked a good spot, went up high and got it in the net, giving the Trojans a 2-goal lead.
Looked like a situation where Hopkins maybe didn't communicate as well as they could have, though, on that pick there too, as they got caught and didn't give any help, and Swanson was only too happy to take advantage of it. So it's been interesting. Wayzata's had the possession most of the time, and they've been able to put together 3 separate scoring chances and converted. Hopkins, really the one and only time that they've had good possession, they did score. So here again, why draws are so important, and here's Hopkins this time getting it.
Wayzata goal scored by number 20, Annika Swanson.
Well, Jay, I'm just, like you said, you picked it out really quick, but Wayzata is playing some clinging defense here. They are not letting him get 2 steps without somebody stepping in front of a black-clad person there in Hopkins.
That time a little too aggressive maybe, and just as you say that, but that's all right. You take that, you know that's going to happen some if you're playing hard.
Oh, sure. Yeah, the one thing too about lacrosse here in the girls' game is that it's like basketball. If you're a defensive player and you establish position before the offensive player gets there, you get it, and you can't have charging. And but there'll be some physical contact that way when you're playing that way.
Goalkeeper Ronning will get the return pass here. Coaches were saying that she's really been able to relax and just kind of enjoy playing later in the season after she started out a little bit slow, and that's obviously an important thing for a goalie. You want to be intense, you want to be looking for it, but you have to stay relaxed too.
Yeah, it's really important. And again, stay loose. I mean, you got that big basket, use it to your advantage, and The other thing I like, too, is be aggressive. Step out of the net every once in a while. They're in close, tight on. You get that basket right in their grill.
Here comes Hanley up the left side here for the Royals, turning on some speed. Kylie Hanley weaving her way to the front. Had it knocked loose before she could pull the trigger there.
Well, she did a nice job of trying to switch hands there. Just got nudged by Wayzata player's stick and kind of forced it out. But nice job of switching hands.
Hanley gets it back. Timeout taken here by John Smart and the Royals as they see an opportunity to get something going here, so they'll lay the sticks down and head over for a little talk. Dan, with as much rain and as cloudy as it's been these last couple of days, I think the players on both teams got to be a little shocked when the sun popped out here in full here for this first half of this one.
Yeah, man, it's been a soggy week, but it's good to see this too, and it just makes playing that much more pleasurable. You get a nice sunny day out, and it's not too hot, not too cold. You can go out and play the best, and you can get a look at both the coaches here for Hopkins and Krista Grandel from Wayzata. That was a really well-timed timeout by John Smart here for the Hopkins Royals. They got possession in it. They're getting faced with some really tight defense by the Trojans. This might be a good opportunity to set some pick plays in place for Hopkins, to kind of spring somebody loose, especially their two top scorers here in Skadden and Gallinson. So we'll see if he tries to force that issue coming off the top and get them open for a shot. Overall, the ball movement's been pretty good, but that defense, boy, I'll tell you what, if you don't get it secured right away, you're probably going to end up losing it. That's really been the Trojans' forte here so far in this half.
Hopkins has had a little bit of a tough stretch down the tail end of the regular season. They had a win over Cooper, but 4 losses sandwiched around that. But sometimes that's a product just, too, of how your schedule falls. I think a lot of times you maybe get a little too caught up in saying, well, this team's hot right now and that team's not. And a lot of times, too, it's, where you're meeting those toughest opponents, too.
Well, I think you said, too, Jay. I mean, they've had a lot of injuries, too. They couldn't count on who's going to be in the lineup. I looked here when both teams were introduced. Hopkins has got 3 people on their bench. And with all the running that goes on, boy, that's a little thin. And but again, you want to finish strong, and especially going into the section that Hopkins is going into. Oh boy, I think Wayzata. I think they're, Maple Grove is going to be, I think, the #1 seed in that section coming through, and that's going to be a tough little road to hoe. But I think Hopkins has got a real tough one. With that section is loaded.
Coach Smart felt, as of right now, obviously this game could still impact it, I would think, but he thought his team probably would slot in as either the #4 or 5 seed in that section. Mm-hmm. Got 4 wins against a good schedule. If they could get to 5 here tonight, obviously they're not going to be seated ahead of the Blakes and the Bracks, but they feel like they could at least be in that middle at 4 or 5.
Well, not have to run into either one of the B teams until the semis or until the semis.
Gallinson interchanging here, continuing to hold #7 for the Royals. And to spin away, the help defense arrives. Gallinson still looking to get a shot away, bounced it over the net. It's going to be Hopkins' possession, it appears.
Boy, Rezebek did a nice race job there. That was a pretty close call. I don't know if I would have given it back to Hopkins, to be honest with you, but Wayzata's really hustling. They're really putting it out there.
Abby Martin changes directions. No goal. Whistle before the shot was taken.
Again, stick high, back in the halo area.
So they didn't get that goal, but they still have a good opportunity here.
Yeah, the angle's kind of bad here, though, I wonder if she'll pass off.
Martin instead goes up high and buries it. So Abby Martin gets Hopkins back to within a goal. She said, I wanted that first one to count and instead gets this one to go here.
Whoa, nice, well-placed shot. You know, and this is a shot in the arm that, you know, that they need. They need somebody besides, you know, their two leading scorers, Scadden and Gallinson, to start putting the ball in the net. And drops off pretty quick after those two, and you know, that's a good sign right there. She hit a nice hole in that in the short side.
Hopkins goal scored by number 1.
Oh, nice.
Abigail Martin. Time of the goal.
Royals looking to go quickly back on the attack again and just lost before she could line it up there. Kristen Mandeville. Ellie Ronning's pass a little bit high, but recovered there nicely by Anna Laugen. And they get it in front and score it. Swanson able to put that one away. Wait a minute, no goal.
Was she in the crease? Oh, she must have been in the crease. That kind of looked like a Stanley Cup goal there, Jay. You know, kind of a deflection in front with somebody parked there. It might be like a 3-second rule. You can only stay within that arc area for 3 seconds, so that's why you see people running through it. They don't stand there. They can't stand there. They got to keep moving through. That probably is what the call was.
Swift trying to find someone who's got a step or two on the defender and now does connect with Gallinson. Looks to her right and gets the pass on target. Melissa A-strike.
And she does a nice job there, too, I'll tell you. Nice!
A-strike turns the corner and scores. And now we're even up at 3 as Hopkins answers back after some good possession time for the Trojans. Watch A-strike turns the corner, short side high.
Boy, first really bad mistake by Wayzata's defense. She just kept rocking and rolling, and nobody picked her up coming around. She saw it right away, and she went right to the front of the net and ripped it. Boy, she got a nice smile on her face. She's pretty happy about that one. Tying the game up here.
I think Wayzata, in particular, the goalie Ronning, probably thought she was going to take at least one more step out for a better angle, but she did a nice job of getting her shoulders turned and hitting really right inside the top corner.
Yeah, I mean, but she started planning that shot about 6 steps before she got there, though. She saw the whole thing.
Shot there wide by Wisniewski.
Boy, I think that's the quickest Wayzata's taken a shot the entire half here. They came down and Wisniewski let her go right away. So we'll see if they continue to move the ball around. Like I said, instead of quote-unquote being selfish, they'll keep moving it around.
Flipped out front and call here going against the Royals.
Not really a free position here because she can't, somebody's got to be behind her. But she really can't shoot this now because somebody's in her way. Yeah, she had to move aside. Oh, she lost it.
Pops up in the air and over hustling to get it. There was Ashton Utsi for Wayzata. Utsi's pass to the front. Turnaround try, missed the net. It will stay with the Trojans, though. They kind of dominated early and they had a 3-1 lead, but Hopkins has gotten a couple in a row.
They have. They've really started moving the ball a little bit better. And Wayzata here, Hopkins picked up the defense too. The Wayzata's not finding the open people to pass the ball to, and they've gone back to a little bit more individual play of running dodges.
Here's Wisniewski looking, fakes, now drops the pass off. In close again, and backing it out of there is Haley Olson.
Yeah, that was a nice play. Haley Olsen did the right thing there. Oh!
Finds the trailer, but a nice save by
Yeah.
Swift. And now the Royals coming back hard the other way. Gallinson controlling it. Spins, fires, and scores.
Oh, man.
Gallinson doing it on her own that time and buries it, and the Royals are back in front. Or in front, I should say, for the first time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the leading scorer for the Royals, or the leading goal scorer here. Nice job. Just went in, does a nice 360 turn, and bangs it home. You know, it's got to be encouraging for the Royals, too, because they've just got 2 goals to tie it up from 2 people who don't normally score. And then now their top scorer steps up, or their top goal scorer steps up and puts one in to give them a lead. I think there's a little bit of early movement there, so they called it dead. Somebody stepped into the circle early.
Hopkins goal scored by number 6.
Nice win by the Trojans. Now after they get scored on, it's really important to get a possession back. And oh my gosh. That almost looked like boys lacrosse there for a minute. They got a little physical with each other.
Last goal for Hopkins, by the way, by Skadron, not Gallinson. My mistake. It was a Skadron. Saw the number all the way, just had those 2 flip-flops. So Skadron getting her first goal of the night. Trojans again possessing it in tight, and now we'll work it back out to Story.
I think the Royals have kind of figured out that the Trojans are trying to go right into the guts there and played a lot better defense.
Yeah, there's something to be said for spacing, too, and I think at times they've gotten a little too bunched up.
Yeah, and kind of forcing it in there. And I like the way they're battling, but, you know, sometime, like I said, back her out, start her out again, and maybe you can get a dodge from out top.
Royals on the move again here up the left side. And the battle won there by Wayzata's Olivia Buin.
Okay, there's a stick across the body there, so, you know, we stop playing to get a free position in the field to go move ahead. But I was kind of surprised, you know, there's some physical play there. I was surprised they didn't stop it on the turnover.
Able to connect with Laugen, and here they come left side, Ashley Greenshields. Flips a pass across, and no shot. Had a whistle before she could let that one go.
Again, there's a stick across coming in toward the body there. It's kind of laid out horizontally and coming toward it, so we get a free position there.
And a Story. Yep. And she puts it away, and we are tied back up now at 4-4.
You can see a nice play there. She just finds a good spot. She looks like she's going over to the left side, and she brings it back to the right and beats her on the short side. Nice shot selection by Alyssa Story there. Yeah, we kind of knew this one was going to kind of go back and forth, and it's been close all the way. There's only been a 2-goal spread at one point by Wayzata, but Hopkins came back and took a lead, actually, and you see kind of an ebb and flow between these two teams. See why it was 8-7 in overtime the last time they played.
Off the draw, controlled by the Royals, is Sadie Skadron on the move here for Hopkins. Skadron answers immediately just as they're starting to announce the Wayzata goal. Skadron puts another one away here for the Royals.
Had a great plan on the draw, Jay. She knew just where she wanted to put it, just back over her shoulder, and then she just grabbed it and went and just beats him on plain speed. The beautiful shot down, high-low, down in the lower left corner and bounces it in.
That one just 11 seconds after the Wayzata goal. So Skadron getting a pair in a row. And again, I apologize, Sadie, last time initially said it wrong. She gets her second in a row here for the Royals, and they go back in front 5-4.
That gives Sadie 33 goals on the season. She knows how to find that net.
Well, and keep in mind, you know, the teams they're playing too. Yes, you know, Hopkins isn't as a team going to be a top 10 team or whatever, but they're playing against a lot of good opponents. For her to get that kind of totals is impressive.
Yeah, she's a player. I mean, you know.
Hopkins goal scored
One of the
by
things I noticed, I don't know if it was Skadron or if it was Gallinson, but wearing a true Minnesota sweatshirt, which is, you know, one of the off-season teams that go and tour across the United States and play out east in Baltimore and Delaware and Pennsylvania during the summer, and giving them an opportunity to be seen by college coaches. And to make a team like that, you got to be pretty good.
Story controlling it here for Wayzata. Turns the corner and scores. It looked like Lucy Swift didn't even see that one coming. Story has her third of the night.
Story just blew out of this. Watch this. She just gets it, and all of a sudden, okay, see ya. I'm just going to go right around you. She went by two people. They let her go, and there she goes. She finds that right side again and buries it. Well, they're just going back and forth. We've got another tie game at 5 apiece. You know, at this point, Jay, two things are going to be evident. These draws are going to be very important. And frankly, I think goaltending is going to be important. Whoever can get the key save at the right time might make the difference in this game.
Yeah, really, even if you know, maybe steal one or two that could have been goals or should have been goals, might be enough to be the difference.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not going to stop everything, and chances like some of these are, even the best of goalies wouldn't have gotten to them, but...
Oh, no. More in this game, it's not necessarily how many you save, it's when you save them at that particular time. So, big win for Wayzata here.
Wayzata goal scored
If
by
they pick it
number
up.
9, Alyssa Story. Time of the goal, 3:55 remaining in the first half.
Oh, Hopkins with the free position here. Again, the ever-loving stick check in the wrong way in girls lacrosse.
Skadron running it upfield here. Had it knocked away. They try to push it back out and do get it to Hanley. She will leave it for Gallinson. Gallinson, nice move. Well, no. They called an offensive charge there, maybe.
Yes, they did. Established position here. 16 Kimmel Hutsey made a nice job. Established position, stepped over, and basically got a charge. Nice play.
Counterattack here for Wayzata. Story, who's been hot shooting it tonight here. Drifting over to the left. Now gets that pass in close. The shot wasn't really a whole lot of room for Haley Olsen to unleash that one. It goes wide.
The Story made a good play, though. She knew she didn't have anything going. And she's hot right now. She scored the last two, but knew she didn't have it, and she passed it off. Nice play.
Story with possession again here for the Trojans as they try to break a 5-5 tie. Now Olsen taking the pass here for the Trojans. Pushed out wide, and she will drop it in behind now. Swanson chased back. And now we'll get the call made here.
Stick up in the halo area on that one. Oh, it might have been an illegal. Oh, whatever. free position for Wayzata here. Good opportunity. Yep.
And the goal. So Elise Johnson's going to get this one for the Trojans, I believe.
Boy, it was a nice free position right there. Well, I tell you, they had her spread out. There must have been something on the backside with the sticker that got her into that position. And, boy, she didn't even hesitate. She went right to the front and put it away. Yeah, I think that Hopkins wasn't quite sure what got called there, and they're asking for an explanation on why that placement, because that was a very favorable free position placement for the Trojans. And I think on this draw, whoever comes up with it, with 1:30 left, get possession and just work it in the attack zone. And just get work for a last shot here. See if you can get either a 2-goal lead or get the game tied up.
Scooped up here by Kimball Utsi for the Trojans.
Number 10, Elise Johnson. Time of the goal, 1:30 remaining in the first half.
Story works it up high here.
Oh, 3-second violation in the 12-meter arc area. Again, they got to keep moving through that area. That they can't stand there. Okay, that ground ball. Then we had a legal stick coming up to the body in the ground ball.
Amanda Olson moving it up here for the Royals.
All right, some physical contact there from a little bit from behind. You've got to be even or you got to be in front.
Olson taking the shot and Ronning able to stop that one without too much trouble. Pass gets away and scooped up nicely, and on the move is Gallinson. Gallinson going to the front, trying to bounce one in up high on the far side, but didn't get it done. It will be Hopkins' possession.
Great hustle by Gallinson there, Jay. I mean, she missed the shot. She saw there's nobody back there. She kept going. She actually beat the goalie to the ball.
And look where Ronning is, way out of the net here. She has to hurry, try and get back. Pass knocked away, and now we get our call made here. Be Wayzata possession.
Yep. Free position here. It's kind of like an illegal stick. Or illegal check.
Trojans looking to push it upfield in a hurry, and they've got a chance. And a goal. Buried by Haley Olson with just 3 seconds left. Wayzata had a nice plan to work it upfield in a hurry, and it paid off.
Oh, that outlet pass to her was just absolutely fabulous, Jay, and it gave him an opportunity, and she took it. She actually split that D and got a shot, and got another goal here. Look at that. Yeah, put them up by 2.
Kind of demoralizing if it happens against you for Hopkins. They were figuring that at worst they were going to go in down 1.
Well, it's kind of like giving up a goal in the last 2 minutes of a hockey game. You don't want to do that.
And now we will reach the halfway point of a close and entertaining first half here at Wayzata. Lake Conference Girls Lacrosse, our score at halftime is Wayzata 7, Hopkins 5. We'll have first half highlights and then our second half of play here on CCX Sports.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
And welcome back here to Wayzata High School. It's a 7-5 matchup here as Wayzata leading Hopkins at halftime as we take a look at our first half highlights. And Wayzata kind of took control on the early part, and Wisniewski scored a goal just over 2 minutes in. And then they come right back as a nice goal there. Swanson getting one a little bit later. That one made it 3-1. And then it's a strike. Watch her spin behind the net, turn, and just go up high, short side. Bury it there for the Royals, and then Skadron coming right back and getting a goal here as she spun away. Nice individual effort. Most of their goals have really come off individual plays. Yeah. And then it's Skadron again here for Hopkins. As they surged into the lead, they scored 3 goals in a row in about a just over 4-minute span. Wayzata kind of returning serve here a little bit, if you will, as Story buries one low. She had a good first half with 3, and then they get one very late in the half here. This one's got to boost their confidence and bring the Royals down a little bit, because that one came with only 3 seconds to go after a call at the other end that led to a goal, and Olsen buried it. You see Eden Prairie, clearly the class of the lake in girls lacrosse, and heading into their last conference match. It was 7-0 record, and see these teams right now tied up at 1-6. So you know, like you said, at least you get off the bottom if you for the winner here tonight, and that's something to aim for against this good competition. We'll be back with our second half in a moment. It is Wayzata 7 and Hopkins 5 here on CCX Sports.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Welcome back here to Wayzata. Sun starting to set now here, and second half of action. Still anybody's contest, obviously, here at 7-5. And I'm not saying that just because of the score, Dan, but just how the play went, too. You can kind of feel that this one has a chance to kind of go back and forth and ebb and flow, and maybe whoever is, got the hot hand late might be the team that can pull out the victory here.
Well, Hopkins has been down 2 goals before, and then they scored 3 unanswered, got a 1-goal lead. So nothing's settled yet. This one's going to go right down to the end. And considering it is an important game for both teams, especially in the lake here, somebody wants to get out of the cellar here. Oh, that was a pretty draw. That was right on the money. She pulled it right to the right player, and she picked it up on the move.
Swanson getting the pass ahead now as she finds Haley Olsen, who scored with 3 seconds to go before halftime.
Boy, good setup, too. Haley Alton just took her time. She didn't try to force a player, force a shot. Got them all set up and see if they can get into their rotation that they had started out the game with. Oh.
Looks in front and buried there by Ellie Olmanson off the nice feed from Olson.
Oh, they kept it out on the perimeter, moved it nice. Now just watch how open she gets. She finds a slot, finds a seam right there, and just gets down and gets a great shot. That was a beautiful play. You know, Coach Crandall was talking about unselfish play. Boy, I'll tell you what, that was just a great example of it to give Wayzata the largest lead that we've seen tonight so far, 8-5.
Good patience there, too. I mean, it kind of shows you that if you're making the right cut and you know, making the right pass, that there is room there, even though it isn't a lot of room. If you're able to have good skill and connect like that, you get it.
Yeah, and timing, when to walk into that seam when you got enough space between everybody and the passer to recognize it.
Goes against Wayzata right here, and Skadron will start it back the other way for the Royals.
Gallinson, I think, broke that. Boy, they had a double team. They had 4 set up across straight up. Oh, wow. Somebody was in the shooting area that was standing there and blocking a shot opportunity. That's why we got the free position.
Gallinson will try and get Hopkins on the board here. Goes right to the net and calmly buries it. So Gallinson will get her second of the night, and a much-needed goal there for the Royals.
Well, you let her in that deep, you just don't want her there because she just knows exactly where to put the ball. She took it up high left. And frankly, Ronning didn't even have a chance on that one. Whittles it back down to a 2-goal lead now for the Trojans. You know, Skadron, you know, has done a great job also as a draw specialist here too. We've seen her do two really great ones where she got to herself and just went down and scored, and she's been doing a nice job.
Hopkins goal scored by
Ellie Johnson scooping it up here for the Trojans.
23-21 remaining in the second half.
Or excuse me, Elise Johnson.
Nice play by number 10, Kylie Hanley for the Royals there. Got up and blocked that shot and then got it on the ground and got herself a free position.
Hanley loses it, gets it right back though. Hanley surveying the field here. She brings it up the left side. Here's a strike, cut off. But I think certainly for the goalie at the other end, and also the spectators and us and our camera folks, having that sunset has been a help. It was a little rugged there, looking toward toward our right or screen right here for all of us in that first half, and it's certainly much easier to see things now.
Okay, yeah, why is that a turnover free position just outside the 12-meter arc?
Ashton Utsi loses it.
You know, the thing is, you know, with the girls' game, too, it's really hard. People don't understand that the girls' stick, the girls' basket, is way different than the boys'. It's much harder to hold on to the ball in the girls' game than it is in the boys' game. They can have a pouch. The girls cannot have a pouch at all in there. It's pretty flat. So when they're catching and throwing like this, they're doing a really good job.
Story cutting it hard to the middle.
Okay, obstruction of shot there by number 18 for Hopkins, thus the free position.
Story trying to put it back to a 3-goal lead and not able to do so. Another crack at it here for the Trojans.
Oh my. There's a little bit of confusion there, a little hesitation.
And this one hurt.
Yeah, she got knocked down pretty good.
Ashton Utsi, the freshman, checking for blood on the nose there, it looked like.
I think nose or the lip.
Yeah,
She
you
got
might be
her
right.
lip.
It must be the mouth.
Yeah. Wonder if she took a stick there or had her slam back into her. Oh,
Ooh,
God.
Yes, she
Ooh.
sure did.
Gallinson really came in hard on her and got the basket right up against her chops. I'm surprised she didn't get a yellow card on that one.
There's a look at Krista Crandall, the Trojans taking over after a couple of years as JV coach. And actually played at Minnetonka, so it's a little interesting when she goes against the Skippers. She said also, not just do I play against my old school, but coached against her husband, who coaches at Lakeville South, too. So
Right now, looking at her roster between them, she's working with 14 freshmen and sophomores overall on her team between the varsity and the JV, and that's a good, solid core of young kids that she can develop with. It's been a little bit of a tough year for them, but as she develops these young kids, they're certainly going to be better. And hopefully, I don't know, you always want to try to get to the cream of the crop and be as good as Eden Prairie or Blake, but they got enough numbers there at a young age to build for the future here. So it looks like there's a little confusion about what's going to happen here, and the refs are kind of conferring as to what that is. Looking at it on the replay, Jay, that looked pretty blatant there. I'm not saying she was intending to hurt her, but that would almost be worthy of a yellow card and some penalty time here. So we'll see what they come up with, but boy, that would really hurt Hopkins too if it was Gallinson. They had to sit for a while. And once you get a yellow card, it's kind of like soccer. The second time you get one, you're out. And I think that'll cause a game suspension also, so she would not be available for the next game on their schedule. Thank God they got one more left, otherwise it would affect their section game. So we'll see what the refs come up with. Okay, a little hesitation there, and she just came right in and got that stick right up there.
Wayzata leading it by 2. Each team has scored 1 goal in this second half after it was 7-5 Trojans at halftime. Season goes quick. Obviously in spring sports here in Minnesota we don't have a huge amount of time, but you see these teams, the advancement they make even in just a short time.
Well, you want to see them better at the end of the season than they were at the beginning of the season. And right now, Wayzata's got a 2-game winning streak. And like I said, one of them was against Edina, who's ahead of them in the standings, by the way. And the other one was against the section foe, St. Michael Albertville, who's mid-pack in the Great West Mississippi Conference. It has Rogers and Becker and them, which is part of their section.
Utsi going to the net and stopped. And then she took a little aggressive hack trying to get that one back. Hard to blame her after after taking one in the mouth.
And apparently no retribution whatsoever. She just got a free position. There's no penalty called, no yellow card. And again, physical contact, and it's not allowed in the girls' game at all. There was some bumping going on there, so got a free field position.
Amanda Olson swinging it back across here to Emma Woodyard. Their call here going against Wayzata. Hanley trying to field that one on the bounce. struggling to get control of it there. Now a strike with it for the Royals. Ooh, and a big collision there. As
A moving pick.
yeah, pick was set there by Gallinson, and CC Hardigan got knocked down.
I think Gallinson likes the physical part of this game.
See right here, keep an eye on 7 in black here. Is this a legal screen or not? They say not.
Yeah. Well, her feet were planted. She had established position. She wasn't moving.
Here's Gallinson with it for the Royals. Nice spin move to the front, and she buries it. Gallinson kind of sees the target from back a ways, and she's going to go right on the attack until somebody stops her. And Gallinson has scored a couple in a row now for the Royals, and they're back to within 1.
Watch Coach Crandall walk down the sideline here. A nice move by Gallinson there. Just a great spin move, coming back through and putting it away. And, oh, she's into it a little bit. But I think Coach Crandall wasn't happy that Gallinson, set that pick and also hit her player, but comes right back and puts one in to get it to a 1-goal game. So we'll see what happens here. But I'll tell you what, Gallinson, that was just the past 2 minutes has been a lot of her just physical will and just deciding she's going to do some things to take charge of this game.
Hopkins goal scored by number 7, Samantha Gallinson. Time to goal, 18:41 remaining, second half.
Olsen's pass across, a diving try at it there. And now the Royals will come away with it as Hanley picks it up, and she's going to give it to her goalie there, Lucy Swift.
They got to get open here, Hopkins. They got one going. She's going to get it up to Skadron, but she couldn't go there. She's going to pick it up.
Skadron with a nice scoop there on the move.
Again, that stick for the defender was too high and close to the head, so immediately they call and give a free position to Skadron there because of that.
Skadron going to the net and denied by Ronning. She did a nice job of moving with her there and able to get the stop.
Nice play by Elise Johnson. She was added to our roster, and it's really she's done a good job. She's been the main pickup person on the face-off draws, and she's done a nice job on defense here too, picking it up and running with it. She's pretty sure-handed on ground balls.
Yeah, not the biggest player out there, and just a 9th grader, but definitely has some skill.
She's not afraid. She motors pretty good. Oh.
Story with a nice pass ahead, and then it comes out front. Walking right to the front of the net is Haley Olsen and puts it away. Ball popped quickly back out of the net. For a moment, it was unsure if it was in, but Olsen able to hit the twine here for Wayzata.
There's the play right there. Nice job. She gets in, and the thing is, she caught it on her right, and she brought it over to her left. Nice hand switch there. Got it in the net. Just a nice answer to Skadron's goal by the Trojans here to come back out to a 2-goal lead.
Make it 9-7 now for Wayzata as Olsen gets her second of the evening.
Well, we talked. I'll tell you, before the game, you're talking to Coach Crandall. I think they've achieved their goal. I mean, they're moving the ball pretty good. There hasn't been a lot of selfish play by the Trojans at all.
Wayzata goal scored by number 11, Haley Olsen. Time to goal, 16:59 remaining, second half.
They'll bring it back to Ronning here. Nice pass to Story there. Story working her way through the Royals D, dropped the pass off and then flicked at the net, and it is going to wind up in. Well, not exactly the way they drew it up, but we will count it here. Kimball Yutzi getting a mixture of congratulations and some kidding here. She really basically missed this pass entirely, hits her leg, and then she just flicked it up and in. Not really on purpose, I don't think, but it'll be a goal nonetheless.
Well, she's kind of chuckling about it. They're all kind of, going all right. But, there's a little payback right there, Jay. I like that, by gosh. Trojans going out now to a 3-goal lead. Kind of important right now for the Royals. They need to pick up the straw and need to go down and put one in the net. They don't want to let the Trojans get too far ahead of them here.
Wayzata goal scored by number 16, Kimball Exie. Time of the goal 16-11.
Hanley moving hard up the left side here for the Royals. Spins. And a nice defensive play there to take it away. That's Hardigan, one of the captains for the Trojans. And they quickly counter and find Story. Story trying to drop the pass off, but they were just off on the timing of that cut. Royals get it back. Battle for it there, Hardigan and Gallinson. The call will go against Gallinson, who obviously does not agree.
Yeah, and I think Gallinson's got a bit of a good gripe, really. I'd put the hip in there. Well, maybe not. Maybe not.
You wonder if Gallinson being involved in a few other things earlier might have been stuck in the official's mind just a touch there, too.
Well, once on that replay, she looked like to be the aggressor rather than the Wayzata player.
Pass doesn't connect there, and Amanda Olson takes it away for the Royals. She is being pressured, though. Nice job to get that pass away by Abby Martin. And they find Skadron. Collision away from the play there. Skadron moving it up. Skadron goes right to the net, Ronning the stop as bodies go sprawling.
We were kind of talking, Jay, start of this half about, goaltending, making a few saves here and there. And Ronning's made a couple here in this half that have really shut down the Royals.
There was a look at the collision away from the play there. Kind of drew everybody's eye away from the ball there for a moment. And then Skadron, as she shoots, they tumble down. Hanley gets control here for Hopkins. Drops a pass off to Gallinson.
Again, too many people standing inside the 8-meter arc there. Remember, you can only be in there 3 seconds. You should keep moving through. That's why they call that play.
Gallinson goes right to the net and buries another one for the Royals.
Well, you can see why her and Skadron are the leading scorers in the team. They're very aggressive. You know what? They're competitors. They're not interested in losing. They fight back really hard and very skilled players.
Makes it a 10-8 score.
Keep the taillights in sight. I'll see if Skadron here for the Royals can win this face-off and maybe give them an opportunity to put it to a 1-goal lead.
Hopkins goal scored by number 7, Samantha Gallinson. Time of the goal 13:36 remaining in the second half.
Ellie Ronning gets back to it, and they continue their progress up the right side here to the Trojans. Story. Story looking for a cutter here, and now gets a little bit of a screen. Story to the front, but missed the net. It'll stay with Wayzata, but a missed opportunity there for Story.
Well, she did a nice hesitation job after she didn't really see anybody coming loose. Oh, man, what a nice setup there. Just missed the net. Good pass up into the guts and just ripped it when she got contact with it, but missed the net.
Wayzata possession again here as the Trojans work it back out top. Wisniewski dropping the pass off. And they return it to Alyssa Story. Wisniewski looking to get a step. Looking out front, but didn't connect with that one. They'll keep possession though. Wisniewski bottled up there. Gallinson nearly took it away. They get it back though. Alyssa Story ran into a defender. Now we'll circle around and try and find a little bit of space here. Drops the pass back. Wisniewski putting it out front. All kinds of traffic there. And finally scooped up by the Royals, but knocked down. There was Swanson. So Swanson's going to get an opportunity from the free position here.
And she was kind of upset there. It's gotten very physical in this game. I haven't seen a girls' game this physical. I mean, bodies are hitting each other, and I think she got a little frustrated there too with that.
Swanson buries it for the Trojans, and they're back up by 3.
Well, that's one way to back at you. What the heck? Comes up there, takes the next few steps, and just lets it go quick. And the key there was a quick release, Jay. I mean, she looked like she was still running, and she just let it go, and I think she caught the Hopkins goalie by surprise. It got on her so doggone quick, and found a good spot on there. Lucy Swift.
So here we go with the draw. Wayzata back up by 3 at 11 to 8.
By number 20, Annika Swanson. Time to go, 11:03 remaining in the second half.
Trojans get possession again here. And Logan with it here for Wayzata. Sees some space, almost got all the way to the net. Gonna get a call against Hopkins here. Royals being directed to get behind her here as Logan goes to the net and scores. And now a 4-goal lead for the Trojans.
That was interesting. She made a nice quick move here, but couldn't switch hands, so she came right back to her left hand. She's naturally left-handed, and put one in. See the move here. She could have gone to her right hand to give her a better look. But she did a nice job. She got it in there. She kind of moved her body over to the right, so she did make that left hand a little bit better as far as giving her more net to shoot at. And sophomore puts it away, and here we go. We're starting to pull away a little bit. And Jay, Wayzata, I think, has had a better half. I mean, they've controlled the ball a lot more than they did in the first half.
Wayzata goal scored by number 7, Anna Logan. Time of the goal, 10:05 remaining in the second half.
Trojans again get that all-important possession off the face-off as well. Here's Alyssa Story. 4 goals, their biggest lead of the night, and a pass in close but knocked away. And Hanley comes up with it here for Hopkins. Hanley working her way upfield and now in behind the net.
A nice run, nice clear by Hanley there. Got it out of trouble and got them set up in the offensive zone. They really got to put something into this one. They got to get a goal. They're starting to see the taillights run away from them at this point.
Skadron will get it from the free position here for Hopkins. Not a bad person to have with a chance to bring you back to a little closer here. Skadron had it knocked away.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed about that, Jay, did you see any other Royals moving when Skadron had it? I mean, it's kind of like they're kind of depending on her to get him back in the game. I mean, good hands, but oh, wow.
Haley Olsen just missing the net. Yeah, there's no doubt about it that Wayzata has certainly passed the ball much better and used each other. Pretty much Hopkins' goals have been either Gallinson or Skadron on their own.
Yeah, we saw the 2 that were scored at one point, but right at this half, it's turned into the Skadron and Gallinson and Wayzata with that ball control and movement. They're finding the open people, and a lot of different people have scored on your list. There hasn't been like 3 or 4 goal person. And I think that's part of the Trojans getting better. Now they're on a 2-game winning streak, and if they keep this up, they're going to be on a 3-game winning streak. And they're going to need that though going into this sections too, to be able to move the ball as well as they do. Maple Grove is a really good team this year in the same section.
Here's Hanley to the net, and she buries it for Hopkins.
Well, Hanley's really picked up a play here in the last 5 minutes. Got a nice clear movement, and she makes a nice move here. Switches hands good, and then comes right back to her left hand and gets it in. Now this is a good time too for Ronning at this point too when she sees that happening, step up and get that basket right up into the grill of Hanley's stick and make her go around the stick. And sometimes these goalies stay in the crease too much or stay in the net too much. Maybe need to step out a little bit. But big goal for Hopkins here. They needed that one. Get it back down to at least a 3 goal. They're bringing it closer together here.
And Skadron in to pick it up.
Hanley, 10 to go, 7:35 remaining in the second.
And on the move comes Gallinson. Gallinson whistle blows before she could take that shot.
As position established, you're going to get a free position.
And nice save by Ronning.
Nice save.
Well, there's you talked about. Maybe you get 1 or 2 big ones, and now they quickly counterattack and score. Olsen buries it, and that might be the highlight of the year for Wayzata. You get a great save at one end, you work it upfield and bury it.
It's like in basketball. You get a block on one end, and now you got a 2-on-1 fast break going the other way. Just watch this pass right here. Coming up right there, and then bang. The second one, right there. Good long distance passes. Olsen ready for it, and she made absolutely sure she buried it. Nice. Well played. Wow.
The thing you like about it, too, as we talked about a little bit, some great individual efforts by Hopkins, but when you got 4 players involved, starting with your goalie and finishing with Haley Olsen there, I think it boosts the team even that much more when you know that so many people had a hand in it.
Confidence, too. I mean, just the ball movement and catching and stuff. Sometimes it's really hard, and to be able to get it that clean, that fast. And, Coach Crandall's got to be pretty pleased with this game for the Trojans. I'll tell you what, because they're doing what she wanted them to do based on the pregame talk you had with her. It's fabulous.
Olsen dishes the pass across, and another one is buried there. This one will be Wisniewski. And good unselfish pass for Olsen, and the Trojans are rolling right now.
And look at Wisniewski's shot now. Watch where it comes from. From the side, not from the top. Really nice. Just a different angle, a different look, and sometimes that can fool a goalie. And she came around with it really quick. That was a pretty shot.
Wisniewski started the scoring back when it was sunny out, and now has the last goal of the right now, I think we had 14-9, although I doubt it'll be the last goal we see tonight based on how things have been going here. Came just 27 seconds after Olsen's goal, so Wayzata, when they get a chance, they've been finishing.
Wayzata goal scored by number 22, Emily Wisniewski. Time to goal 6:13 remaining, second half.
I think they're kind of surprised too lately how the ease of the goals that have come here in the last 3 to 4 minutes. I mean, they've really just strictly outplayed Hopkins here on the attack.
Well, and I think Hopkins has put some effort into to getting people forward to get shot attempts of their own, and at times that's left them a little bit thin in the back when Wayzata's countered.
Good point, Jay. Darn.
Every once in a while, I see something out there.
Oh. What do we got now?
Wisniewski pass, and it got away briefly, but they're still in position to get it here, and they do so as Olsen picks it up. And Story had a stick come up and catch her, goggles a little bit, it looked like.
Got into the halo area. Feel for your position here. Now would be a good time to try to get some possession. I mean,
Olsen missing from in close. Swanson will run it down, though. Well, we talked earlier about the injuries for Hopkins. I'm sensing that they're getting a little bit tired now, too.
Yeah, I think you're right. And like you said, they've had to put so much effort in to try and crowd back into this game. And, they're being made to play the whole field up and down.
Coach Smart, when I said, who will be your starting lineup, he said, well, everybody who's healthy, basically. So they have a very small bench and not really, it's kind of who's out there has got to do it for them.
Yeah, they only had really 3 players on the bench there, which is compared to Wayzata, I think, who had like 9. And when you're running this much, a break is good to have.
Battle for it down toward the corner there and scooped up by Olivia Buin for Wayzata. And a nice steal, though. Counterattack here for Woodyard for Hopkins. Woodyard bottled up, and the stick got up high on her, it looked like.
Yeah, and just inability to switch hands there really hurt, although she's got a free position. But, if she could have switched hands, come over, she would have had a good opportunity.
That one hits the goalpost.
Yeah.
Tried to bounce it past Ronning and did get it past her basket, but hits the frame of the net there. Nice job in traffic there by Mandy Rezebek. Out of play here.
It should be Hopkins' ball. Wayzata knocked it out of bounds.
Hanley working her way up the left side. She had the last goal for Hopkins, but they're facing a 5-goal deficit with about 2.5 to play here.
And Hanley's been working really hard, and she's done quite a few full field runs and clears here. And I'm just wondering if them legs are going to start going too here pretty quick. But
great hockey player for the Royals. Here's Hanley to the front and bounces that one past the net. It'll stay with Hopkins, but still a missed opportunity. And, with this margin, obviously,
yeah,
they're going to need to get a couple quick here to even really think about having a chance.
In the girls' game, too, that clock keeps her running.
Skadron turns and buries it there for the Royals, and she knew what I was saying, that they didn't have time to have any near misses. They needed to put one away, and that's what she did.
Yep, she just went right at it. She beat her person, came around inside, and just ripped in the top corner. So this draw is really important now. Let's see, Scadden's got, she's breathing rather hard right now.
Trojans able to control it. Pass deflected as they try to get out front to Olsen, and then Swift grabbed it and
Nice.
almost fell into the net herself there.
Got aggressive though, and she went after the person in front of the net instead of letting him catch the pass. She went after it. Oh, nice outlet.
Got it to Skadron, a long completion there. And then knocked away, but we had Wayzata getting the stick up, so we'll have opportunity here for the Royals as we are under a minute and a half to go. Hopkins trying to fight back from what was a 5-goal deficit a moment ago, sitting at 4 right now.
You got Skadron dead center right now. That's the place where you don't want it to be if you're a Trojan, but boy. Well, nice play by the Trojans. They closed on her pretty quick, and there's a little bit of hesitation on that first step.
Skadron looking to add another and does. So she's put a couple in a row in the net for the Royals, and this one is not over quite yet. Obviously, lacrosse fans know goals can come in a hurry in this sport.
They keep winning these draws, that they're going to have an opportunity, but that's kind of the key right now. Nice shot. Skadron high-low. And I don't know if that found the 5-hole. Probably did, but anyway.
A couple goals in the first half, a couple in the second now for Skadron. And the Royals do come away with it here. Woodyard. And looks like we might see a card coming out here. Yes, we will. Yellow card being issued to Wayzata.
Elise Johnson, I think.
No, actually, I believe that's a 19. Clea Hatzageorgiou.
She, you see that chop coming down close to the head there. Interesting. There was no contact made with the stick at all. Stick on the body? Oh, wait a minute. What?
Officials are going to confer. Coach Smart saying, how is it ending up to be their ball?
Yeah, exactly.
There was also an offside call. Okay.
Oh, no, now Hopkins has got it back now. Okay.
And the shot sailed high up over the top by Woodyard.
Good defense. The sticks by the Trojans really restricted that shot and kept it high.
Looks like they're out of balls down in the end line there, so Hopkins, they'll get another one to get put into play here.
Yeah, it's important because that the clock would have kept running. They stopped it.
So the Royals have made it interesting, pulling from down 5 to down 3. A strike with it here for Hopkins. Dropped it back off. Gallinson getting it to Skadron, and she scores. When I first said Hopkins isn't out of this yet, I was thinking to myself, well, maybe they really are, but they're going to give it a try. And all of a sudden, they have fought back to within 2.
Great pass right here and good cut by Skadron. I mean, she came off of that left side, Jay, and came through real quick and got a pass from Gallinson and just buried it. Didn't even hesitate.
How
Nice
big is
play.
this face-off now?
Oh, not at all. I mean, gee, a little pressure on the Royals, but they've been getting it done. They've won 3 in a row.
If they win this draw, they are still very much in it. If Wayzata can win the draw, they need to eat some time, no matter how it happens. And
Absolutely.
ultimately, it'll be Gallinson controlling it, and she does not look tired now, heading full go ahead. Gallinson fires, and just missed it. That was big. They will keep possession, but had that one gone in and given them, another chance to come forward, they'd be in a much better spot, but they've still got an opportunity here. They give it back to Skadron. Skadron looking for a cutter here. She goes to Gallinson. She shoots and a stop by Ronning, and that one might seal it up for the Trojans. Well, wait a minute.
What?
Looks like we had a whistle. Trojans have possession, though, here, and at this point just need to get it upfield. No matter how they do it, they didn't really accomplish that, but still going to be a little too late for Hopkins here, I think, to come back as a collision down there in the corner. And Wayzata will have it, and they will be able to run the clock out here. Hopkins made it interesting late, charging back, but it is Wayzata hanging on for their 3rd victory of the season and 3rd in a row with a 14-12 win. Overall, pretty impressive outing, I think, for the Trojans.
Very much so, Jay. The second half, it all started clicking. They did a pretty good job in the first half of moving the ball, but really got it going in the second half. I love the ball movement. They found seams in there, got good open shots. Defense tight. Ronning made some key saves, at least 3, probably 4 key saves to stop the Royals, at least slow them down a little bit to allow them to get a little bit of a lead. Hopkins fought back hard, but Wayzata definitely was the better team tonight.
So the Trojans, we said, win their 3rd in a row. They are playing Osseo Park Center in the regular season finale next Thursday, the 25th, here at Wayzata. Meanwhile, Hopkins will be finishing their season at home this Saturday the 20th against Totino Grace. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's telecast here from Wayzata High School. With Dan Fick and I'm Jay Wilcox. Here's your final, Wayzata 14 and Hopkins 12.